Hey guys, it's Jaden. I just finished watching Watchmen, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where it's gonna go from here. But before we get to that part, shout out to Miss Regina King, Angela Abar. She's finally I'm so happy that people are really getting to really get Miss Regina King. I plan to do this video later about the whole idea of black famous people, but Miss Regina King has been black famous for years, and I love her. I think she's an amazing comedy actress. I think she has an amazing dramatic actress. I believe in her. Ever since she got her Oscar, it feels like everyone else is starting to believe in her too. So when she landed this role that, even she retweeted on Twitter or something about this is a role that would probably go to a white man, but it didn't, because and tell an amazing story in such a contained little space. For example, the place of, obviously spoilers. I love the fact that because we're set in this one central location as the main thing of Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we're still going other places to sit there and see other things. For example, Adrian Vedek's his mess in Antarctica. We also got to go to Vietnam to sit there and just explore Abar's story, which was immensely impacted by Dr. Manhattan from the original. And I don't know, this series blew my mind because every week you didn't know what was happening. Low-key, when it first started, I was like, can y'all just tell me what's going on so we can watch some television? But as we really got into the show, we really got to sit there and dive into learning and figuring out the whole idea of who Sister Night is, who Angela Abar is, and discussing learning her family from the grandfather. I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember his name, or Hooded Justice. I'm just gonna call him Hooded Justice. To even discussing just the subtleties and in between the issues of race and the introduction of the idea of family to the idea of good and bad, the whole situation of this crazy woman having a god complex. Now, Lady True, that's a sneaky woman right there. I kind of called it at the beginning. I was like, she's definitely his daughter. Did not see the fact that she had her father in gold just sitting there inside the tower. Didn't see that coming. But I don't know. I just really love this show. I don't know if we're going to get a season 2. Because it's HBO, we may see a season 2 to get a lot of unanswered questions answered. But I feel like it was a good wrap-up to, for example, what would happen in season 2, I guess, it would be handling the whole trial of Adrian, discussing the fact that he basically, tried to save the world, which, honestly, realizing, back then, when I first read Watchmen, I was like, this man is an idiot. I mean, he's a maniacal bastard. But, realizing, his motivations, I'm like, oh, okay. It kind of did save the world, even though you have this grandiose ego that's it is literally hindering your humanity. We could also see something from the sorts of whether, Angela actually gets Dr. Manhattan's powers. First of all, the reveal of Dr. Manhattan being her husband, I didn't see that coming. That was pretty wild. But it also makes you think the only reason why the Cyclopses found out about it was because he didn't kill the guy, he just teleported him somewhere else, which is wow. The senator being a racist racist bad guy, and his geek self, he did a good monologue. I'm gonna be honest, I loved how he kind of played into the whole idea of being wow, you really feel like you're a wrong white man in America. You are a U.S. senator, but you are a wrong white man in America because it's so hard to get away with being slightly prejudiced towards other people. Not even slightly, but just being prejudiced to people because people are more inclusive and accepting. Which brings me to the whole thing of people trying to review bomb the whole entire show because the protagonist and discussion of race and the whole political nature of it. I think the whole situation with Watchmen in 1985 dealing with the issues with the Soviet Union and the Doomsday Clock and the kind of the ending of the Cold War, that was a good talking point that was a major center around Watchmen from 1985. I think the fact that this one focused on the whole ideas of white supremacy and the weird thing around the whole situation around reparations, that is its own real life situation that we're dealing with. Watchmen's always been this story to me that's been close to me because solidified that not everything or every comic book has to have a good ending or a bad ending. Like, not everybody's supposed to really come out hunky-dory. And I feel like this is one of those stories where, you know, sometimes you do beat the bad guy, sometimes you do win, but, you know, there's some people lost along the way. And I feel like the main person we lost was, you know, Cal playing Dr. Manhattan. And the fact that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, this man did that. He did such a good job, and I'm so happy to sit there and watch this. Like I said, whether we get that season 2 or not, that's a whole question. If this is just a limited series, I'd be perfectly fine with it, because I feel like it ended off like a comic book, but it does have a bunch of unanswered questions, and it is HBO, so we never know. They may try and, you know, milk it till it's dry. But as long as Miss Regina King and the whole actually cast gets awarded for this, the show deserves being awarded, because they delved into so many weird genre flexing things, from the whole episode with the discussion, the history behind Hooded Justice, taking all that nostalgia. That was its own thing. That episode was great for that. I love the episode when I think it's called like Walk Into a Bar or something like that, when it's basically Dr. Manhattan and him meeting Detective Abar. That was its own special of like, oh my god, this episode is great. And I don't know what else to sit there and say about Watchmen, but it's pretty much one of the best shows, I'd say, of 2019, if not like easily top 10. Like, it solidified, it talked about like the political commentary, it had, you know, great actors acting, you know, even Adrian Vidic, you know, being on by himself with the clones. That whole weird shit was its own special, like, fun. It was such a good show. But I don't know, I have anything else to say. Hopefully we get a season 2. Hopefully we don't. I don't know. I would love a continuation on Detective Abar's story. Also, I would love to see Regina King work. But she's not going anywhere soon because, you know, they're coming back with the Boondocks, so she's got a job. But Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, I really want to see his work. I want to see more of him. Even though he is Black Manta and Aquaman, I want to see some more of him. He's getting them roles. So as long as these actors stay booked and busy. Anyway, I guess that's it. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, have a nice day. Don't forget to remember that you're doing great. It's all good. We're having fun. And yeah, follow me. I know you're watching, so subscribe. Bye.